Beyond Mortal Boundaries, Chapter 6, The Tree of Life. It is time at last for the great sacred tree of life to bud, to blossom, and to leaf out with the foliage that will be utilized for the healing of the nations. This tree is beautiful beyond all others. And as it begins to bear its life-giving fruit, it will be for the glory of Prime Creator, the tremendous great mystery, and for the joy and benefit and happiness of all. This tree has been dormant for ages and centuries, and now it is again coming into its appointed season of fruitage. Glory be to Prime Creator for a day so great. This precious tree is the tree of that Christ declared to be the vine and man the branches. Prime Creator is the husbandman, husbandwoman, to prune away undesirable, rejected traits and weaknesses through tests and trials. We must be tested and tried in all things. We must prove our worth. We must be able to bring forth the precious divine fruit that is within our sacred natures to produce. And the privilege is so breathtaking, it is almost overwhelming when comprehended. Of all the worlds that Prime Creator created, this one is the most wicked. It is the most rebellious. Not the earth, yet those who inhabit it. Yet all the other worlds envy us, for this is the school for gods. Upon this wicked, polluted, beautiful world, it is possible to achieve in one 60-year lifespan all the testings and trials necessary to prove one's worth for all eternity. Those who come out of the fires of such testings are great indeed, and their glory will be eternal. All the other worlds envy us such an opportunity as is ours. On milder worlds, without the evils and the conflicts and vicissitudes and continual temptations, it would take 1,000 years to achieve what can be accomplished in one short lifespan upon this wonderful little world. The very privilege of being permitted to dwell upon this lone and dreary world is one of the greatest opportunities that could be granted. Here upon this earth is the greatest opportunity to serve. Here upon this earth is the greatest opportunity to overcome. Here upon this benighted little world is the greatest opportunity to be proved and glorified. Each person who permits or develops and brings forth that great Christ light or the spirit of love will be given the glorious life energy and substance of Christ's holy sacred essence of perfection and the power to begin to produce the fruits that will be everlasting. These are the fruits of sharing, in that each man, to a certain degree, is allowed the privilege of becoming his brother's keeper. That the law was rejected by Cain and all the ungodly since that period of time. To be one's brother's keeper does not mean that one's brother or neighbor is to be coddled or waited upon. It does mean, however, that we love our brother as we love ourselves, that we guard his interests as we guard our own. In this love, it would be impossible to cheat anyone. We would be willing to protect our neighbor's life with our own life if necessary. And there is no greater love than this. And this is the fruit of the tree of life. And since man is given the divine privilege of being a branch upon that precious tree of life, man also has the ability to subsist upon its fruits. And the love of Prime Creator is the fruit of the tree of life, as it is shed forth through the hearts of the children of men, women. Women give birth, if you didn't know. Bring forth this perfect love or fruit, and it will be impossible to die, for death will be overcome. The fruit of this divine tree of life is yours to partake of always. And as this love of Prime Creator is shed forth through your own heart, you will have opened within you the fountains of living water. Yes, Christ is the vine of that precious tree. Yet man, they are the branches. And it is man also who is required to hold forth those precious leaves for the healing of the nations. These leaves contain the healing balm for the hates of the world and for the lacks of mankind. These leaves hold the power of healing the selfishness and the greeds and the envies and the viciousness. These leaves contain the power for healing and for the binding up of the wounds of those who have broken themselves and been wounded upon the fields of their battles. And it must be rehearted and remembered that the nations are made up of individuals. Send love out to enfold and bless individuals, and the healing will commence. America has continually sought to bind up the wounds of those whom it has been forced to fight and conquered. It has held out a helping hand and shared its own life food with nations in need. It has been a noble and a great nation. Yet sometimes it has acted unwisely, as it has turned its giving into a system of buying friendships. Friendships can never be bought, for the feeling of obligation often breeds a resentment that seethes forth in new misunderstandings. Yet this role America has undergone from the beginning of its history, it said, yet this role America has assumed. Cancel clear the word assumed. From the beginning of its history, the holding forth of those precious leaves of healing will find a glory of fulfillment as the nations of the earth are chastened and humbled by the hand of Prime Creator. For such is in the plan. And in Prime Creator's rebuke, there will come the humility and the appreciation and the power to be healed. Then every precious leaf of peace, as held out not only from the awakened nations, yet from the loving hands of individuals, will be most gratefully and joyously accepted, and the healing will come. Blessed are those who begin to hold forth these sacred leaves of love and healing. This is the outpouring of a love such as this world has never known, as it flows forth through the opened human hearts that are exalted into the divine fulfillment of their own perfection. It must be here explained that love is released through a human heart as vibrations. Vibrations are the expression of love as they are released through a soul reaching toward perfection. Hate is also released through vibrations, yet the vibrations of hate are destructive and deadly, and It is because of these negative, hate-filled vibrations that this world has reached the measure of its own accumulated wickedness. And Prime Creator must take a hand to save it from annihilation. Love is a living essence of power. It is released from human hearts in a vibrant sea of such living glory. If only mortal eyes were conditioned to behold it, that would instantly change the world. Yet since these vibrations are felt rather than seen, the process of receiving is slowed down. Remember, reheart always, the love of Prime Creator that is shed forth through the hearts of the children of men is the fruit of the tree of life. And it is the released vibrations of pure perfection as one opens up his heart to receive of its powerful gift, the gift of eternal life. Learn to open up your heart to the vibrations of this released love of Prime Creator, and you cannot possibly grow old or ugly or die. This fruit is the source of life and the power of it, and it is the spiritual food that Christ spoke, and it is the released vibrations of Prime Creator's eternal, unfailing love. This glorious information cannot be contradicted except by the most wicked of men, and it cannot possibly be disproved, not even by the most depraved of human beings. Yet it can be proved. It can be proved. It can be proved by any individual who desires to make the effort to see if Prime Creator's promises can be fulfilled by the living of the laws pertaining to them. And any who will live the laws shall know of their truth and of their power. Universal laws. There's 55 that I am aware of, and you can look them up if you have a cell phone. Do you have a cell number? My number is the same. Do you wish to overcome death? Question mark. Then partake of the fruit of the tree of life and become a branch of that precious tree, as its fruits are offered out to the world through you. Or are you one of those of whom the inspired writer of the Odes of Solomon was speaking when he stated, "Whatever I did not know, truth made clear to me, all the poisons of error and the plagues of death, which they think to be sweetness." If you can look beyond the dismal heritage of death, with the intelligence and the power to believe sufficiently, then you will begin to live the laws required for the great transition, and you can have immortality without dying. You will evolve from the man kingdom into the God kingdom without tasting death. So is Prime Creator's promise. It is the wages of sin that is death. And if you do as I say, then am I bound, declared Prime Creator. But if you do not as I say, then you have no promise. It is most simple to prove this one great and mighty promise, that there shall be no more death, and words that death is the last enemy to be overcome in any man's life. It is in the living of the first and great commandment that the requirements are fulfilled and perfected. Love Prime Creator with all your heart, and the hard seals of unbelief will melt, and the love of Prime Creator can begin to be shed forth through it. Often these seals upon the heart are the selected conformity that freezes one into an unprogressiveness of dead and lifeless dogmas, with the love of God shut out. As anyone begins to develop the first little whisper of love, his heart will begin to open and expand. It is then that Prime Creator can begin to shed forth Prime Creator's great love through that opened heart in a fountain of vibrant living life. First, that holy sacred gift of everlasting life will become his, and he will acquire a body free from sorrows or affliction or pain, and death will be overcome in that individual. For he, having overcome all the other evils of his life, the darkness, the envy, the jealousies, the fears, and hates, and greeds, will have that one enemy left, death. And in the overcoming of the evils of his life, one becomes the master, and the gift of life becomes subject unto him, and death will have no claim. As one begins to give out love, that is the fruit of the tree of life, he will also be able to partake of that fruit freely. He, she, freely, himself, herself, and as he absorbs that divine power of its holy sacred essence and substance, he and she will have the power to hold that fruit forth to their own loved ones and friends, and then to go on to hold it out for the healing and the eternal blessing of a world. Eventually, death will be banished from the earth, and there will be no more tears or weeping or sorrow, for these former things will be done away. There is in the record of Daniel 12, 8 through 10, a description of this work. It is in Daniel chapter 12, verses 8 to 10, as follows. And I heard, yet I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And Prime Creator said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end, and that is now. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, yet the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. Yet the wise shall understand, and overstand. Then in the verse 3 of the same chapter of Daniel, it states, And they that be wise shall shine forth as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. This work, divine service to divine love, is the preparation wherewith I design to prepare mine apostles to prune my vineyard for the last time, that I may bring to pass my strange act, that I may pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Behold, verily I say unto you, that there are many who have been ordained among you, whom I have called, yet few of them are chosen. And they who are not chosen have sinned a very grievous sin, in that they are walking in darkness at noonday. Light has been poured out without measure, and they walk in the darkness of their sealed minds and their unenlightened understandings, because they refuse to ask Prime Creator concerning anything, thinking they already possess all truth. And in this they do err greatly, and their darkness is increasing. To return to the former quotation, it reveals, What I have said unto you must needs be, that all men may be left without excuse. All men, women, may be left without excuse. That wise men and rulers may hear and know that they have considered. The only thing that has not been considered is the possibility that man can fulfill the promises given by Prime Creator, that man can be perfect, even as the Mother, Father in heaven and on earth are perfect, that every professing Christian is expected to, quote, to do the works which Christ did, to do the works that Christ did, and go on to greater works, and that man can overcome all things, even death. Again, to continue with the above quotation, quote, that I may proceed to bring to pass my act, my strange act, and perform my work, my strange work, that men may discern between the righteous and the wicked, saith Prime Creator. Or, as Isaiah declared, for the Lord shall rise up as in Mount Perazim, he shall be worth as Roth, as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his act, his strange act. Isaiah 28:21. That's chapter 28, verse 21. Prime Creator's apostles and his leaders are truly prepared and are going forth to prune the vineyards for the last time. And in that pruning, they are gathering the tares into bundles to be destroyed by the overflowing scourge. This work of pruning, it is itself most strange, for it is more or less in reverse, since it is to themselves they are gathering the tares and the worthless branches. This pruning is for the gathering into bundles and groups those who are willing and desirous of trusting wholly in the arm of flesh, instead of going to Prime Creator to learn of Prime Creator's will. I will to will thy will, mighty I am. Not my little will. My little will has gotten me in trouble. And passing these lessons on this Earth School Living Library. These are those who rely solely upon the word of their leaders and their pastors and their bishops or apostles or chosen authorities. These are the ones who are satisfied with learning about Prime Creator God instead of following the strict command that they seek Prime Creator early and diligently, that they might know Prime Creator instead of just knowing about Prime Creator. Would you like to know Prime Creator instead of just knowing about Prime Creator? It is those who love Prime Creator with all their hearts, with all their souls, and with all their minds, and who are living the higher laws, universal laws of righteousness, who are being pruned off according to the belief of the leaders, while the reverse is true. They are gathering the weak and the unsaintly unto themselves into the bundles that are to be destroyed, and very shortly all men will be able to discern between the righteous and the wicked, saith Prime Creator. Again, all men and women will be able to discern between the righteous and the wicked, saith Prime Creator. Those who are willing to sacrifice themselves to prove their love for God and their belief, their knowing in Prime Creator's words and in Prime Creator's promises, will be clothed in the white raiment of power, and nothing will be impossible to them. Thus is the last pruning being performed, as the righteous are being segregated from the wicked. The wicked are those who love and serve their appointed or chosen leaders. The righteous are those who love and serve Prime Creator, even to the complete relinquishing of their most cherished possessions, even their memberships in churches, or their very lives, if necessary. This is not for the faint of heart. Be brave. Divine bravery is required. And the unknown. No fear of the unknown. I love you all. This will complete Chapter 6, The Tree of Life Beyond Mortal Boundaries.